A group of researchers internationally have come to the conclusion that they have developed a non-invasive way of treating and lessening the symptoms of neurological disorders in cases where conventional treatment is not effective, such as Parkinson's disease, major depression, obsessive-compulsive disorder, schizophrenia, and epilepsy. Right now, the treatment for neurological disorders is an invasive surgery called deep brain stimulation. Deep brain stimulation is when a brain pacemaker or neurostimulator is implanted in the chest, along with the implantment of electrodes in the brain. The brain pacemaker then sends pulses to the electrodes to the spots in the brain that they are attempting to treat. The biggest downfall with the current treatment is that this is an invasive surgery, meaning that the operator will have to cut into the patient's head. There can be side effects such as hallucination, depression, or cognitive dysfunction. Since it is a surgery, there are risks of the brain shifting, brain bleeds, and infections. The new alternate discovery and innovation is talked about in Discover Magazine's Top 100 Science Stories of 2017 with the article titled Going Deep. It's a new method called temporal interference. Temporal interference is when two electrical frequencies are placed on the scalp of the living thing in order to activate neurotransmitters and to stimulate the brain. These two frequencies on their own are too high to stimulate the brain. However, when the two frequencies meet, they are enough to create a low enough frequency to touch the hard-to-reach neurons and activate brain stimulation. They have never been able to get at the inside of the brain of a living thing without actually opening it up. Tested on mice, temporal interference has been proven effective for triggering motor function, which can be highly effective in patients with neurological disorders such as Parkinson's. This will affect so many different people. The United Nations reported that in 2007, there was an estimate of 1 billion people who were affected by a neurological disorder, meaning that nearly 1/6 of our population could be helped by temporal interference. According to the Cambridge Brain Sciences blog, temporal interference can be effective for not only replacing these invasive surgeries in order to treat neurological deficits, but it will also be of help to scientists to figure out how the brain works and could possibly even improve the brains of completely healthy people, which could be a big step for humankind. I think that it is a very relevant and important innovation because of the amount of people who struggle with neurological disorders and have to decide if they want to undergo invasive surgery to receive therapeutic treatments. I agree with using this innovation in cases of neurological disorders, as well as to further explore the brain of a living human being. Because as of right now, exploratory surgery for brain discoveries is a lot harder to perform on a living thing as it encompasses invasive surgery. The only common times you will hear about scientists doing tests on brains just to learn things are when the brain is no longer in a living body. I don't fully know how I feel with this being done on healthy people in order to improve their cognitive function, because it reminds me of the talk about implanting a chip in the brain to improve the intelligence of a human being, and it just seems unnatural to me. I think it's very interesting how they might be able to improve brain function, but I wouldn't get it done on myself as long as my brain is healthy. So this innovation technically doesn't really affect me personally. This article helped me to understand how stimulation in the brain works and a lot about the treatment patients with brain deficits must undergo. I hope to learn more about the exact science of brain stimulation and how the frequencies work inside the brain. Something I did find quite disturbing was the animal testing, but I do wonder if it will be as successful on humans. This innovation will have an everlasting impact on the world, if it does in fact help to improve human brains. It will definitely improve the quality of life of so many people. Maybe one day it will even lead to the further innovation of being able to completely cure brain disorders. It's very linked to the central idea of improving the brain and evolving the human species for the better. If it does lead to the option of improving healthy brains, who knows where the world will go from there?